Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot, and some slightly lighter things today than the topics we read on yesterday. Today an odd story has popped up in Harry Markle's blog. It's a fabulous resource if you don't know about it. She has kept track of Harry and Meghan since pretty much day one. Just recorded everything they've done, wherever they've been, whatever court cases, whatever they've said, whatever interviews they've given. It's a resource. It's very thorough. It's very methodically laid out, and it's just come out now, the latest one, with a rather bizarre story in it about the ESPY Awards, the truth, allegedly, of what really went on at the ESPY Awards, that apparently, instead of Harry and Meghan just being very rude and getting up and leaving after Harry gave his speech and sailing off, they were asked to leave. This is according to an insider who has come forward to tell all, spill the tea. And the reason that this happened was allegedly because the invited veterans who were told to sit at the back of the theatre so that the front seats around Harry and Meghan could be filled with those paid for audience fillers. Angela Levin said as much. She said they were there to give the standing ovation and clap and cheer suitably for Harry when he gave his speech. But apparently the invited veterans at the back of the theatre were not quite so appreciative of Harry and his presence and his speech, and there was booing and jeering which was being picked up microphones, and it was causing trouble with the live broadcast. So it was decided to ask Harry and Meghan to leave. This is all allegedly, and Harry initially refused and then was told that he had to go and escorted out. Security actually escorted them out, so that all that security we saw that we assumed was Harry and Meghan's, according to this story, this rumor, was actually the organisers telling them they had to leave, and they had to leave via a back exit and not attend the after party because they didn't want the Parkles to upset the veterans at the after party. So that's that story, and it continues that apparently as a result of what happened at the ESPYs, the US government, this is apparently on the instructions or encouraged by Barack Obama, the US government pulled its funding from the Invictus games, and this is why Washington DC is not hosting the 2027 games. Birmingham is hosting the 2027 games. So that is a rather long-winded explanation of what Harry Markle's source allegedly told her and what is in the latest blog. I suggest you go read it. It is quite interesting. And I'm going to do, crash bang, knocking the camera. I'm going to do a 5-card reading with the Knights Templar Tarot, and I'm going to ask about the energy around the story, and if there is any truth to any of this. There's the Knights Templar Tarot. It's my military tarot deck, so it's good for reading on the veterans. So I want to know if Harry and Meghan were indeed kicked out of the ESPYs. Harry Markle reminded us of how they were allegedly kicked out of that garden party. Soon after their wedding, they were told to go. Their car was waiting. That was after Meghan allegedly said in a loud voice she was bored and could they go now. And that is what I think what Lady C said happened at that garden party famously. And so we're going to ask if this was true, how their Parkles felt, if this indeed happened, and if the US government has indeed pulled its funding from the Invictus games, and what all of this means for Harry and Meghan and the Invictus games going forward. Strange little story, and let's see. Took a long time, sorry, to actually explain all of it. Let's remind you, tarot, fun and entertainment, all opinion, all speculation. Just read energy here. Disclaimer in the box below. And let's see if there is energy around the story that is confirmation of any of this. And we have the moon. Ooh, that is things that aren't clear, things that are hidden in the shadows, the moon energy, things that come from a place of fear and suspicion and doubt. So whatever is going on in this reading, it's strange energy with that moon. It's hidden energy. It's stuff that nobody's really clear about. So nobody's really clear about what happened. It is rumors, it's suspicion, it's doubt about what happened. It's coming through quite strongly for me as Harry's energy in the moon card. And Harry being on this, the one who's lost, whose energy of being lost in the woods at night, in the shadows, and afraid. It's very much a card of fear, and he apparently was having panic attack before the event actually started, and I wasn't sure he would be brave enough to face the veterans in the back rows. And of course, Pat Tillman's mother had expressed her opinion very strongly about the fact that he did not deserve the award, and he did look very nervous, and he did of course keep those people on the stage, those veterans on the stage, to protect him, shield him from the jeering, the booing from the back rows. Allegedly, that's all sitting in this moon card. That's his energy situation. We're talking about whether Harry and Meghan were actually kicked out. Five of Swords, that's conflict, that's fighting. And it's a hollow victory, and it was a hollow victory for them. They should not have shown up. They should have, in my opinion, they should have graciously declined the award and said it should be going to all the veterans from the Invictus Games, not Harry, and something should have been done to defang the situation, detox the situation. It wasn't. They allowed the conflict to fester, and they tried to stifle it, and they're still trying to stifle it even now, as they're trying to stifle criticism of them in their silly interview that they gave on CBS yesterday. I still can't get over that, but they are trying to stifle criticism of that. And this is the conflict around the whole thing, and that we got hints of, but apparently was much worse, allegedly was much worse, according to this insider who has allegedly spoken to Harry Markle or given information to Harry Markle in some way or other. So, were they booted? Were they told you have to go? I've got the King of Swords. That's somebody in charge. It's the director, the person who's in charge of the production. Big cheese, and it's very commanding, it's very direct energy, it's instructions, it's very clear instructions, the King of Swords. It's unfeeling energy. It's this is what has to happen, and I don't care about your feelings, and here are feelings, your hurt feelings. I don't care what you think, I don't care what you say. So it's possible with the King of Swords energy that someone took an executive decision, and quite a harsh decision, to chuck them out. And it's a very military energy, the King of Swords. So if they were escorted out, that is this card could very definitely support that version of events, shall we say. It's quite difficult to always be so diplomatic in use of language. It's not my natural way of speaking, I have to just say. So how did Harry and Meghan feel if this did indeed happen? How did they feel? Harry apparently didn't want to go. Knight of Swords, aggressive. He didn't want to go. And I think that it was in this piece, I can't remember, I read it very quickly. I was about to do these readings, and I had to swap around and bring this one in because this felt like this was an important story to read on. I think, and if I'm misremembering, then I do apologize. It's not intentionally ill-willed, but I think that Harry actually got quite aggressive with somebody who was heckling and wanted to land him in the dog bowl, shall we just say. If I'm making that up, it's just not out of malice. I am a storyteller, maybe, but I've imagined that. But I don't think I have. Knight of Swords is the aggressive response. Very quick, very military. We've got the king here, the boss, saying out, allegedly, and then we've got the response swift retaliation. Very possibly, if somebody was heckling, he might have said some pretty rude things back or got quite aggressive. That's his energy in the Knight of Swords, and might have had to be pacified in some way. And I don't mean wrestled to the ground, but just calmed down. It looks like everything was incredibly volatile, a lot more volatile than we who were viewing it could see. We saw the standing ovation. We saw Venus glowering at the pair of them, particularly Megan. But here we have the Moon, the Five of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. That is conflict and stuff that we didn't see, because it's all under shadow here with this Moon energy as the underlying energy. So moving on to this funding aspect of the story, this rumor. I have to call it a rumor. Did this prompt the US government to pull official funding from the Invictus Games? Doesn't mean that private organizations can't carry on supporting them, but it does mean the government said, nah, we've had enough. We're only going to support the Warrior Games from now on. American veterans are very upset by all of this, rightly so, and we're not going to hold the Invictus Games in the United States. Good luck, Birmingham. Was that the consequence? And I've got the Lovers in reverse. That is a breakup card. A big split. And it's also a decision, a choice, a difficult choice that we can no longer support. And if it did come from O, as Harry Markle described, the influence in this blog, if it came from O, it would have been a difficult decision for him personally, because he had previously been quite supportive of Harry long time ago. But the Obamas have very clearly distanced themselves from Harry and Meghan a long time ago. I think we got the first serious inklings of that at the 60th birthday party. They were not invited to that birthday party. As far as I can recall, I've got an Encyclopedia Britannica of Harry and Meghan trivia in my mind by this stage, and it's quite difficult by now to remember all the minutiae of what has happened, which is why Harry Markle's blog is so incredibly useful. And I'm sure it's being very deliberately maintained for future reference. Lovers in reverse, very difficult decision, but a split, and a big split, a split that was difficult. Implications for Harry and Meghan and the Invictus Games. Where to now, if this is really what happened? And we got the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is going to end in tears. The family, the Invictus family, is going to break up. And it's very much a family, and it's being portrayed right now very much as a family. The Winter Games in Canada are family games, and we are being told that we're going to see Archie and Lilibet at those games, and people will be encouraged to bring their families with them to the games. But the greater family, the Invictus family, is going to split as a result of this, and it could be very sad for Harry. There they are, Harry and Meghan and the two children. This was supposed to be Archie's legacy. I did read on that recently, because we were being told that Harry was setting Archie up to step into his shoes in due course. A ludicrous concept, and it's not going to happen. By the time Archie is old enough, assuming there is an Archie and he will grow up to be old enough, there's not going to be an Invictus Games, not in the shape or form that we know it. And Harry's name might well be Mud by that stage. I think it's going to be Mud much earlier than that. This is soon energy for me, the Ten of Cups in reverse. It's not in 10 years' time. No. So there it is. That apparently, allegedly, is the backstory, what really happened at the ESPY Awards a few weeks ago. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.